This is an all bosses run, including all the ones they added, so we got a ways to go still, even though we're close to the end of the main story. All that's left in the main story is we've got to go get we have to go get an item so that we can get to the final crystal, which is the crystal of air. But to get to the crystal of air, we need to go to that waterfall that the guy was talking about earlier. And get an item from there, and we need to go talk to the Luthian people now that we have the Rosetta Stone. And we'll be able to go get the crystal there. We'll fight Tiamat. That will be the last crystal, and then we can go to the Chaos Shrine and fight Chaos. And that's all you have to do to beat the game. But we've got several bonus dungeons with several bonus bosses to beat. So while we could possibly beat this game tonight if we were just doing the main game, doing all the bonus dungeons is probably going to take Friday and Saturday, I'm guessing. I've never done the final bonus dungeon before, so I can't even begin to guess how long that's going to take. But the goal right now is to finish Final Fantasy 1 this week. And if we don't have an extra run of it, start Final Fantasy 2 next week. We'll see how the community goal goes as far as whether we're doing another run through with the harder party. Okay, let's see, where do I need to go? I need to go to the waterfall cave. The waterfall cave is... Where's the waterfall cave? It's this cave here, right? So actually, don't I just need to go up on my canoe, really? I don't think I actually need to get in the airship at all. I can't park up here. You know, I never bought those, gold needles for when I get stoned. There's another ribbon in the waterfall cave. I do remember that, actually. We can get our second ribbon here. And I believe you can give a ribbon to the monk without hurting his defense, right? It'll be a little more interesting when I get to Final Fantasy 2, because I've beaten Final Fantasy 1 like, I don't know, 10 times on the stream. Final Fantasy 2 I have beaten on the stream before once, and that is the only time I've ever beaten Final Fantasy 2. So, and that was 10 years ago. We started to play it back in May, but we didn't finish it. We barely even started before we got distracted by Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition coming out. So Final Fantasy 2 will be a little bit more trying to figure out where to go and stuff. I know the beginning of it a little bit, but I've only beaten it the one time. I remember like a lot of the plot points, but I don't necessarily remember where to go everywhere. Weird. So many nightmares in here. There's gonna be a lot more, I guess, like complexities and things to do in the more recent Final Fantasies, obviously. The first Final Fantasy, I mean, it was a great game when it came out, in my opinion. But it's fairly basic by today's standards, you know? I mean, you get your party, you go to these dungeons, fight stuff. It's got a fair amount of diversity of items and stuff for when it was made, but even more now with the bonus dungeon stuff added to it. But it's still not... Okay, that's a lot of stone. The other guy's wearing it. Alright. I need to take off those gauntlets so that other people can use them. So that someone else can use gauntlets and he can, like, Garaga to make sure it dies. Please die. Good. Yay for Raga. Wizard staff, that'll help. And a ribbon. It does lower his defense a little bit. I think it's worth it. Defender. Right. And talking to him gets us the warp cube, which we're going to need to get to the air crystal. It's up in the sky. And we don't need to walk our way out of here because of stuff like this. Oh, actually, no, we got that wizard staff. We can do this too. The wizard staff. Oh, cast confuse. It's still something. Just in case. I just don't want to be turned to stone. If I can avoid it. Good. Hey, they dropped a gold needle. That's helpful. Alright, we just use exit. Alright. Okay, so you got that Rosetta Stone. There's a town called like Rufinia or something like that. And you can't understand what any of the people there are saying, but the Rosetta Stone is going to help us figure that out, but we're not going to be the ones to figure that out. We got to go talk to the professor dude down in Melmond. If I can find him. Is the right? Oh man. He was all like surprised you didn't know about him before, but if you come up here now, not there. Gotta go to the graveyard. which is on the other side. Anyway, yeah, over here. Just a moment, let me see that tablet. This is the Rosetta Stone. This makes it possible to decipher Lufinian. We're all ready to play Lufia now. So he deciphers the language, which somehow, I guess he teaches it to us. And we are quick learners. Cool part of Lufinia, if you are playing a game with a white and a black mage, is that it's where you can learn full life and flare. But we're not, so we can't. A red mage cannot learn full life or flare, sadly. But that's okay. So Lufinia is on the far eastern side of the map. If you're going west, the map wraps around, trust me. Alright. So that's Lufinia. But you can't park any of this place. You can't park in the forest, so you have to go all the way up here to park. And then walk your happy butt down there. Since we can't get the spells, the only real reason that excuse me, the only real reason we need to go Lufinia is there is a key item called the chime that we need for the air crystal that we have to get there. First time I played the game, I did not get the Rosetta Stone, and I didn't know that I needed it or what to do with it if I had it, and I got stuck at this part of the game for a while. Bless you points at username. Oh, thanks, bless you. Very kind. Alright. Yay, Sid made the airship. Sid wasn't actually in the first game, but they added him into it at some point. So now every Final Fantasy has Sid in it. I think the person with the chime is like over here somewhere. There we go. I don't know if there's anything we can really buy here. Check the shops. But the best thing they have is flare, and we can't use it. At least not yet. If you want to get flare, you have to go outside the wall over here. And there's a secret magic shop over here that sells it. Only black wizards can learn it. And only white wizards can learn that, so we are out of luck. There is another shop here, isn't there? Do they not have a regular shop? Maybe they don't. Okay. Well, we're done here. We got the chime. That's what we need. I gotta walk all the way back to our airship. But now we have the chime. We've got the warp cube So we are ready to head to the Tower of Mirage. The Tower of Mirage is actually like underneath the next shrine. It's up in the air. We gotta get to the top of the tower and use the warp cube to get to the actual dungeon where Tiamat is. So the tower is in the desert. That's where we're headed next. Like the big desert. Do I have a favorite Sid? Ooh. What do you think? The first Sid was Final Fantasy II, right? With the airships that you can use to travel around and everything. He's not my favorite. Let's see, Final Fantasy III's Sid? No. He's okay, he's not my favorite. Final Fantasy IV's Sid? I mean, he's nifty, but no. Final Fantasy IV, 6, 7. 7's a good contender. 7 has a really good Sid. 8, meh. You know, I mean, he's a thing, but eh. 9's pretty good. 10's pretty good. Park here. Where do we have to park for this? I forget. All the way down here. Probably 7. Yeah, Robin Williams said. Oh, fancy it. He does look like Robin Williams. Probably Final Fantasy VII, Sid. Alright, here's the tower. Okay, welcome to the tower. Ooh, chests. Nice. Who's your favorite Sid, bless you? The healing helm. I casts heal. Yeah. We have a second item that can cast heal now. He's wearing a leather cap. Purple sword. Like there's like, well, Ribbon doesn't have that much defense. Let's take that off. It's a very sharp blade. The Vorpal sword does less damage than Ice Brand, but I think it has a chance to just insta-kill. Yeah. Final Fantasy 14 Sid. Okay, fair enough. I didn't really consider 14, just because I don't know the game that well. I only know the beginning of it. Alright. Aegis Shield. Guards against stone. Done. You haven't played or finished that many Final Fantasy games? Fair enough. I haven't finished all of them either, so this will be my opportunity to finish every one of them, right? You finished X, X2, 14, sure. 15, okay. Wow, okay, so we're gonna be introducing you to a lot of great games, then bless you. Like, dude, stick around for sure. Like some serious classics. Like, you haven't gotten anything before 10? You played most of 7. You got stuck. What part you get stuck at? There are a couple places that can get a little tricky. Second floor. The big crater? The crater at the end of the game? I haven't played 7 in a while. Fair enough. But we are going to be not only completing every Final Fantasy, but I'm going to attempt to beat every boss in every Final Fantasy, so we're going to try and be as completionist as we can about it. Some of these games I've never beaten before. A lot of them I have. In fact, a lot of them we've beaten on the stream before, because we've done a Final Fantasy thing like this before, we just didn't finish it, and we're committed to finishing it this time. But on stream, I've beaten 1, 2, 3, 4 on stream. I've beaten 7 on stream. I've beaten 9 on stream. And 10. And 10 too. And 15, I think? I don't think I've beaten any of the other ones on the stream before. And it's been so long, you know? Like, no one who was around when I beat them before is watching anymore, you know? Because I stopped streaming for a long while. Yes, kill each other. I haven't played any of 9. Dude, 9 is my favorite Final Fantasy. When we get to 9, that's gonna be a treat. We got a ways to go though. We gotta get through all the classics first. We're most of the way through the story of this one. So we are at the first half of the second to last dungeon in this one right now. Not counting all the bonus dungeons they've added over the years. Why is 9 my favorite? So I started playing Final Fantasy with 7. That was the first one I played, and I like it a lot. It's really high up on my list, right? But then after 7, like 8 hadn't come out yet, I went back and started playing all the old ones, right? I played 4 and 6 and 5 next, I think in that order. And then I went back and played 1, and then I attempted to play 2. I didn't beat 2 at that point. I played the beginning of it and was like, oh, I was playing like a fan translated version of the original, and like, oh my god, ugh. I had issues. And so I have a lot of love for all these old Final Fantasies, and 8 came out and it was okay. I wasn't a fan of 8. Maybe it'll grow on me. I've never beaten 8, so 8 will be a new experience for me when we get to it. I've only played like the first disc of 8 about, and I wasn't huge on it. I hated the junction system when it came out. But then 9 came out, and 9 is like a love letter to all the games that came before it. It's full of allusions to all the originals. It's full of like callbacks. It's like Final Fantasy returning to its roots, sort of. Like they went away from like this weird junction system. They went away from even like the materia system. They went back to like a lot of the old systems. It was, and I don't know, I just really love it. It's a fun game. You can get incredibly stupidly OP in 8 early game, yeah. If you abuse the card game, yeah. So my plan with 8 when we get to it is that the first time we play it, I've never beaten 8. So I'm going to play through 8 completely blind the first time. When I say completely, I've played a little bit at the beginning of it. That's not completely blind, but mostly blind, right? I'm not going to look into how to exploit the mechanics. I'm just going to try and play the game as if I had just opened it up out of the box on release day and I don't know anything, right? And then we're going to have a community goal for 8 that is to play 8 a second time and break the mechanics over our knee and completely just exploit everything. And yes, 8 is incredibly exploitable. I would say probably the most exploitable Final Fantasy, but I don't know if that's true. It seems true, but I can't say for sure if it's true. Sure. You bet I'm gonna accidentally discover some broken stuff anyways? Probably. And that's fine. If we accidentally discover it, then we'll use it. I'm not gonna go out of my way to discover it though, you know? I mean, like, I'm not gonna like look anything up. I wanna play it, I wanna play it the way it was sort of meant to be played before we play it the other way, you know? I don't mind playing games and like exploiting all the things that you can do in them, but I don't like to do that the first time I play the game, because then I feel like I never experienced like the normal game, you know? Like we're trying to do a community goal for each one of these games. So each game, as we go through, there's going to be some community goal for like a second playthrough or something else. Like in this case, it's a second playthrough. If we meet the community goal, you guys spend your bananas if you want to see it. We're gonna play through Final Fantasy 1 again with some kind of challenge party. Like, and I say challenge party, I mean a party makeup that is less useful.